Good morning. Good morning. Who up? Who up? I tell you, man, I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm seeing some of the most hideous dudes. You know, no homo, but uh, I'm seeing the most hideous dudes in Thailand right now. This is where all the sub five Farang guys. If you don't know what Farang is a foreigner guy in Thailand. I'm seeing the most hideous, the most fattest, the most ugliest dudes. You know, I mean, bro. Oh man, in these lands, I'm gonna be the best looking dude out there, basically. None of these dudes work out. Why don't a lot of Farang guys work out, bro? I don't see any buff dudes out there. You see what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure there are some, but most of the dudes I'm seeing are sub five, man. Sub five men going overseas. Wow. And I see normies too, man. I see normies out there, you know. But the thing is, man, Chad and Tyrone, they don't have to leave America. I don't see any Chads and Tyrones trying to leave America or even talking about leaving America. It's mostly sub five men and some normies, not all. I mean it's not a whole lot of normies, but it's mostly sub five dudes who can't get no woman in the States or in the UK. And hey man, I'm not mad at that. You know what I'm saying? If you are a sub five male who can't get women in his own country, he has to venture out and go to other countries, man. You see what I'm saying? He has to venture out. He has to go and get what he needs to get, you know, regardless of all the shaming that's going on here on YouTube, where a lot of men are shaming, a lot of women are shaming men for going overseas. But you don't understand, like, there's a lot of dudes out here that can't get women, period. They sub five, they haven't had a woman in a long time. Like me, man, I'm by myself by choice because I need to focus on getting the paper right. You see what I'm saying? And then we can go to bars and clubs and hang out and do all the other stuff. Being on your purpose is what it's all about. So you can survive in these third world, second world countries. You see what I'm saying? You know, you can't survive without money in these third world countries. You have to have a steady string of income that's coming in, um, that's coming in like consistently, okay? And it has to come in until the day that you die. You see, a lot of these guys they claim they want to go overseas. They claim they want to be out there. You know, it's like, but do you have the stability and the support to stay out there long term? No, you don't. That's why I'm like, a lot of these dudes, they talk about going overseas, but they just don't have the money. They don't even have $100,000 in the bank account, you know what I'm saying, to stay out there for long term. With 100 grand, you can stay out there for 10 years, man. If you manage your money right and you just rent 100 grand, okay, in Thailand, you can stay out there. Well, no, I can't say for 10 years. 100 grand would last you about probably like a good 5 years. Yeah, at the most. It depends how fast you spend it. If when you're out there, you know. Yeah. So understand, understand that you gotta have that long term stability. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have money coming in, or you'll be coming back here to the West. West, look, man. What's the point? You know, of getting your passport and traveling when you at the end of the day, at the end of the day, you're gonna end up back here again. You know, we want to escape from the matrix for good, not come back to this hellhole, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you can't stay out there long term, you might not. You might as well just forget about it, man. Most Farang guys, okay, they end up coming back to the matrix. Most, not all, but most. The only dudes that stay out there long term is these older dudes that got pensions and they got retirement funds and stuff like that, man. You know, retirement is on point. They got a check coming in until the day that they croak. You see what I'm saying? They got a check coming in until the day that, they die. So these are the guys who could stay out there long term. Young dudes, unless you hit the lottery or something like that and have, a few million in the bank, you're not gonna stay out there long term. You're gonna end up coming back to the matrix. You're gonna stay out there for only a couple of weeks, at the most a month, and you'll be back here. You see what I'm saying? If you ain't built like that financially, you're just gonna come back to the matrix. That's why I'm like, when I hear these guys, when I hear these guys talking about they going overseas and they gonna find their own wife and stuff like that, like, bruh, you don't even have the finances to go out there to look for a wife. You see what I'm saying? A lot of guys, they don't have the finances to stay out there long term. You have the finances to stay out there long term. Like if you hit a jackpot lottery or something like that for like $300,000 and you're in your 40s, I can see you, making a stretch. If you're on the budget month to month, it's making it stretch for about 10 years, right? But you also gotta have stability. You gotta have a business or something like that, man. You gotta invest that money, making sure you have income when you're out there coming in. You see what I'm saying? A lot of guys ain't got that set up. So, you know, if you're not talking about getting a business, right? If you're not talking about making your money stretch long term, then you're just gonna end up coming back to the matrix. Okay, you're just gonna end up coming back to America. What's up, Johnny P? You're gonna end up coming back. You know, stability is what's gonna keep you out there. You know, in other countries outside of the matrix. You gotta have stability. That means you gotta have a business or a pension. Okay, and the pensions for old dudes. Okay, dudes in their 60s and stuff. Right? Pensions are for older dudes, dudes who they either serve in the army or the navy, or they got a pension from their job that they worked throughout their whole entire like years and stuff like that. Okay, these for the older dudes that's gonna stay out there. But if you young, unless you hit a jackpot lotto or something like that, you ain't gonna be staying out there long term, man. You're gonna go out there, you're gonna visit for about 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a month if you're lucky, and then you're gonna be back in the matrix. What's the point of traveling when you're just gonna come back here? You see what I'm saying? Doesn't make any sense. That's why I'm saying these a lot of these guys, on these travel channels, they talk about, yeah, we going overseas, but bruh, do you have the financial, like, do you have the finances to stay out there long term? Do you have that? You don't have it. So what's the point of going overseas? Business, okay, you gotta talk about that first before you even get out there. You hit a jackpot lotto, okay. Well, we're gonna have to invest that money and make sure that money is coming in on a month to month basis. Okay. If you wanna retire for the rest of your life and you're in your 40s, okay, we need about $2 million. No joke, no lie. If you want to live a good life, if you want to live lavish, okay, $2 million. If you want to, live for the rest of your life, I say about 500,000. If you're in your 40s, okay, you're gonna need 500 grand if you want to live a plain and simple basic life. You know what I'm saying? You know, including getting married and stuff like that, you're gonna need about 500, 600 grand. Okay, do dudes got that bread in the bank account like that? No. There's dudes who have went out there to the Philippines and got caught up. Just they ran out of money. They thought they can live on $30,000, and nah, nah. You're in for a rude awakening if you think that you're gonna survive off of 30 or 40,000 dollars. I don't care if you in your 60s. You get out there, you're gonna want a girlfriend, and then you're gonna spend money on her, and then you're gonna take care of her and stuff like that. So then after maybe a couple of years, your $40,000 is pretty much done. And then what? And then you're on the streets, and then your girlfriend leave you. There's a lot of guys out there, a lot of Farang guys out there, who thought that they can leave the Matrix with only $40,000, or even worse, $30,000, and they ended up on the streets, or they ended up coming back to the Matrix. Simple as that. Like, what's the point though? You know what I'm saying? Nah, you gotta prep yourself before you go out there. Make sure you got a business going. If you got jackpot lottery, invest in a business. Okay, become an animal breeder. I told you guys about animal breeding. There's some money in that overseas. Okay, who can resist animals? Who can resist a cute tiger, a baby tiger, a kitten, or a cute puppy? Okay, or parakeets, animals, stuff like that. People will buy it from you. You know, Animals can be therapeutic, man. If you're a loner, you ain't got nobody to talk to and stuff like that, or you ain't got no companion, a dog will make a perfect companion, and you'll be able to sell that on a regular basis. You'll never go out of business if you're selling animals. So I suggest, if you get some money, invest in an animal breeding service, and have the big house where you can breed them at. Big giant yard and get a bunch of cages and stuff like that and sell those things, man. You see what I'm saying? Sell kittens, dogs, lions. Well, I can't say lion. I take that back. Tigers. You can sell tigers, parakeets that talk. Okay, you could breed fish. You know what I'm saying? Hell, you could breed cows. You know what I'm saying? And you can sell the milk and stuff like that. Like, bruh, you can make a lot of money being an animal breeder. And I love animals, man. I love animals. I always watch animal shows all the time. So you got to think ahead. You just know what I'm saying? Like that's the reason why Kelcat stopped dating. You know, a lot of guys they say, "Well, yo, Kelcat man, you incel, bro. You how come you ain't had a girlfriend in a long time?" Like, bro, I'm not focused on that. How you gonna focus on women and focus on your business at the same time? Those two don't mix. You get your money right, and then you can focus on women all day long. Other than that, if your money ain't right, you have no business thinking about women. I know a lot of you guys are young, but you gotta understand, I'm 40 years old and I have to start thinking about the future. What the heck am I gonna retire on? You see what I'm saying? You know, oh well, no, man, that life chose you, Kelcat. That the incel life has chose you. And I'm like, bruh, I'm not incel. As you can look at my face, do I have a ugly face? No, I don't. Unless I'm super fat, and then that'll incel me big time when if I'm overweight. And plus, I don't even eat enough to even get fat nowadays. I eat like 2 meals a day. I exercise. I don't eat enough to get fat. I'm talking about I might put on a few pounds, but I don't eat enough to get real big and fat like I was, 3 or 4 years ago. You see what I'm saying? And like, dude, I stopped dating. I was going out on dates before the pandemic, and until I realized actually the pandemic helped me realize that I had to get my money together. So there's long term thinking going on. You see what I'm saying? Not short term, long term thinking, and then, therefore there will be long periods without sex. Okay, but when you retire, you get your money right. There'll be all sorts of sex going on. You see what I'm saying? You know, you'll be able to have sex all day long when you got your money right. But if you ain't got your money right, bro, you just gotta like block everything out, go into monk mode, do what you have to do to get your paper right. Like I said, you should not be thinking about women if your money isn't right. And I know it's hard to not think about women, but you have to think about the future, bro. What's it gonna be like in the next 5 to 10 years? You know, are you gonna, you know, have enough money to retire? Because most American people live paycheck to paycheck. They don't have anything, you know, to retire on. Most of these people out here, they're gonna be working until they drop, working until they die. You know, who wants to retire early, bro? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Who wants to retire early? Raise their hands. I know a lot of you guys want to retire early. Who wouldn't like to, stay home, play video games, have sex, go to the pool, you know what I'm saying, that you have in your backyard or, you know what I'm saying? Who wouldn't like that lifestyle? Who wouldn't want that lifestyle? You know what I'm saying? I know I would, right? Wouldn't you like to wake up and didn't have to go anywhere? Go straight play your video game for a couple of hours, go swim in the pool for a couple of hours, hang out with your girlfriend at the mall, go shopping, right? You ain't got no job that you got to clock into. You know what I'm saying? You're not a drone, okay? You're living life on your own terms. Who wouldn't want a life like that unless you want to be a slave to the system, unless you're happy being a slave to the system, basically. You see what I'm saying? So that's the life that we're all fighting for. And some of the things you have to give up to get it. Like what would you give up to have stability and live your life forever in Thailand? Live a good life too, not just any old life, a good life, okay? A rich life. What what would you like to give up? You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys don't want to give up their comfort, you know, they're going out to like bars and clubs almost every single night. They don't want to give that up. You give it up, you start saving money, and you start putting money away for retirement. Or you go after a jackpot and you obtain it. You obtain the jackpot, you know, and you know, and then you put some away for retirement, right? Or you invest that money somehow. You see, I worship great minds. Okay, people who are smart and people who are gonna live in luxury for the rest of their life. I worship people like you know 50 Cent, Elon Musk, all these great minds that 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 you know. I mean, I'm trying to find the words to say because a lot of these guys are geniuses, man. 50 Cent is a genius. He's a thinker, bro. He said he'll never be broke, even though his son is crying like a little girl, all on social media, talking about, oh man, he only giving me 6,700 a month, man. Like, shut up, bro. Stop crying, bro. That's what these fucking babies are about, man. They always crying. Like 50 Cent, he broke his neck and sacrificed a lot so you could have a better life. And you out here crying about 6,700 a month? Man, you better get out here and make your own money. You see, a lot of guys, they want something for nothing. They don't want to get out there and earn the money. They don't want to sacrifice for the money. You see what I'm saying? They don't wanna sacrifice for the money. They want something for nothing. No, in this life you have to give up something. You gotta give up your comfort. You know what I'm saying? You gotta give up your way of life. You gotta give up your time going to the bars and clubs. You gotta give up your sex life. Okay? You gotta give up your love life. Give up your relationship life. Give up your dating life. You got to give up all of that so you could have something else because you can't have your cake and eat it too out here. You see what I'm saying? Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, and Jay Z. Yep, exactly. These are dudes, you know, who have great minds and they'll never be broke. They got brilliant minds and they'll never be broke. I had to say it again. You know, just the other day, I um I was watching this YouTube video about this great chess player that lived. He was the best there ever was. He went insane in the end, but still, he was the best player in the world. You know, people like that, I admire, bro. You know, you know, you know. I don't admire people like 50 Cent's son. You see what I'm saying? I don't admire dudes like that who want something for nothing. No, get out there and get your millions yourself. No, you have ruined your relationship with your father, which is the breadwinner. Too busy listening to what your mama had to say about your father, but you gotta look at the whole entire picture. Your father is responsible for your way of life, and you are entitled and you're inconsiderate, and you should be ashamed of yourself for ruining your relationship with your father, the breadwinner. Why would you do that? You see, dudes like him is what I stay away from, far away. You don't you don't ruin the relationship with your father. You see what I'm saying? He's a dumbass. You know, 50 Cent's, excuse the French, but 50 Cent son is a dumb ass dude. He's dumb. Listening to what his mom had to say instead of, checking his mom like, look, mom, dad is responsible for this way of life. You gotta show him some type of respect. Matter of fact, he should have been living with his father instead of living with his mom. Why would you want to live with your mom? I'd be like, nah, I want to go live with my father. Nah, I don't want to stick. I don't want to stick with you. You see, that would have been smart if 50 Cent son would have said, you know what, I'm gonna live with my father. I don't want to live with you. You broke. He's a broke ass dusty bitch. I'm gonna live with 50 Cent, my father. He's the breadwinner. If he would have stuck close to his father, you know, he wouldn't be in a situation with 6 or 7 hundred a month. He wouldn't be he wouldn't be there. And this dude's 25 and he's still talking about child support. Get the hell out of here, bro. You want something for nothing. You don't want to get out here and earn your rights. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, we're talking about 50 Cent's son. Supposed to be talking about going overseas. Anyway, so get your passports and try to stay outside of the matrix, okay, long term, and set yourself up. I told you, animal breeding is a good, business to get into. What else? Uh, you can say, you can sell cows. It's the same thing. You know, you know, it's the same thing. You know, but you gotta learn to be a thinker. How did I hit 2 jackpots? Because I was a thinker, bro. I saw the patterns and trends where everybody was laughing and giggling and making fun of the trends and patterns. Me paying attention to trends and patterns got me paid because I had my eye on the prize the whole entire time. I never took my eyes off the prize, and I still got my eyes on the prize, bro. You see what I'm saying? I still got my eyes on the prize. You never ever take your eyes off the prize. I don't care if pussy is thrown at you, bro. You gotta have an iron mind, man. Just like one millionaire said, he said, "Man, I got an iron mind. Once I'm focused on something, you can't take my attention away from it." You see what I'm saying? It's all about having an iron mind. Nothing can break your focus, you know, from the prize. A lot of guys they got ADD. They can't focus for long periods of time. When I'm focusing on my numbers, I'm like focused for like 2 or 3 hours at a time, bro. Like on my day off, I could spend the whole entire day paying attention to trends and patterns and going over numbers and stuff like that. I could spend the whole entire day and I'll take breaks and I go right back to my numbers. You see what I'm saying? Because it's all about being focused for long periods of time. Am I thinking about pussy? No. I'm thinking about getting numbers together in my head and writing them down on paper, on how things will come up with the probability. You see what I'm saying? So you cannot stay in these countries. Back to what I was saying. You cannot stay in these countries long term if you don't have stability. I don't care how many dudes meet up to talk about going overseas. How many of these dudes actually got the money to stay long term? Not a vacation. I'm talking about long term. Stay 10, 15, 20 years or even until you die. Not too many dudes have that. Only these dudes with the pensions and retirement funds and stuff like that. They got it like that. Not the average dude out here, man. So figure it out, bro. Like get up online and start like looking at videos on how to stay in these countries long term, or look up about living overseas and what can I do to start a business? What can I do to make money overseas? Start looking up that shit, bro. Get off YouTube, get offline, or get online and start looking up information on business. That's what I did, man. How you think I came up with the animal breeding thing? I looked it up. I was, hey man, it's not hard work to look up stuff. You see what I'm saying? And see what can I do? A lot of guys, they talk about going overseas, but they're not even like looking up, you know, on how to start a business overseas. They're not even looking that up. They too busy looking at videos about going overseas, but they not concentrating and focusing on how to survive overseas long term. You see what I'm saying? You know, you talk to some of these dudes like, okay, dude, you going overseas? How you gonna survive out there without any stability? I'm going overseas, man, to find a wife. Okay, do you have the finances to take care of a family out there? Do you have at least $300,000 for retirement funds? Do you have that? No, you don't have it. So you're not gonna stay over there long term. You're gonna end up coming back to the matrix, man. And what's the point? We're trying to escape from the matrix. We're not trying to stay here for long, forever. We're trying to escape and disappear from here forever. You see what I'm saying? No, you're not going to be able to survive over there long term if you don't have the stability. So I suggest you start looking at on how to start a business out there. Animal breeding, start off with that. If you like animals, go ahead and do that. You know, what else? What else? What else can we stay out there with? You know, there's clothing lines and stuff like that, man. But that's a risk. Opening up a bar, okay, but that's a risk. You know, a go-go bar, that's a risk. Was it a? A restaurant, that's a risk. These things can fall apart and you could be on the streets really, really quickly out there because all the competition. Okay. So I suggest, man, you look up on what you want to do overseas business wise. Get get women off your brain, okay? Get Putang off your mind and concentrate and focus on things that matter. Things that you need to survive off of long term. Focus on getting some stability. Then you can go overseas. Other than that, you ain't got no stability. You ain't gonna survive out there, bruh. You'll be back here before you know it. Or you'll be homeless out there, just like some of these other Farangs that went out there and they thought that they could survive off of 40 or $50,000 and they ended up broke being out there on the streets. There's a lot of homeless American dudes out there right now in Thailand and 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 um the Philippines, and I see these guys online all the time. Like, dang, he was out there living good, and all of a sudden, bam, he ran out of money, and now he's homeless out there, and nobody want to help. Nobody don't want to help him. Don't put yourself in that situation, bro. Be a thinker. Be a thinker. Have a great mind, bro. Fill that thing with knowledge. You see, even if all else fails, bro, I could teach capoeira out there for some money. You see what I'm saying? I could start a capoeira group out there. I can teach basic capoeira and stuff like that. I could start classes. You know what I'm saying? If all else fails, you know, you know, dudes are asking me, what's your strategy on playing the lotto? What's up, Mike Ellie? My strategy is keep persistent, pay attention to the trends and patterns. That's all I gotta say. Focus on trends and patterns. What I mean by patterns, the lottery, they have patterns going on with the numbers. Okay. If you don't pay attention to that, you're not gonna win. Trends, what's trending, the numbers that are hot, cold, medium, or warm. You see what I'm saying? They mix those hot and cold numbers together in the jackpot numbers. Okay. You got to play isolated numbers that have been sitting out for a while. Play those. Keep playing those within those numbers. You know what I'm saying? And people say, well, there's a lot of isolated numbers. There's a lot of cold numbers. I'm like, yeah, but you'll be checking for them. You're gonna throw them into the numbers. Okay. Like one time, like just because I knew that one was hot, I threw it into my numbers, and I end up matching four numbers out of five because I was checking for those code numbers. I was like, okay, where are the code numbers at? Okay, one is cold or hot. Well, no, one was hot. One was hot, so I went with one. I end up matching four numbers out of five because I was checking for that hot number. Then I was checking for code numbers. So you check for those code numbers because they throw them into the draw. But you still need a little bit of luck. It's not all skill and it's not all luck. Somewhere in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I gotta go, man. Um, can't be on here for too long. I say, bro, if you really want to stay overseas long term, you have to start, focusing your mind on stability. What can I do that allow me to stay in these countries long term? And look it up. Just look it up. You see what I'm saying? Look it up. What's up off the line? Good morning. You know, Look it up, man. And then you see, then you can stay out there in these countries long term and you can enjoy the fruits of your labor long term. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, man, I gotta go. You guys have a good morning or good night or wherever you are, man. I'm about to go back to sleep. I woke up too early thinking about stuff, man. Thinking about Thailand, thinking about traveling. Hey, man, I'm not going to Colombia. I done heard too many stories about foreigners getting drugged and killed out there, bro. Colombia is too dangerous. I don't think I'm gonna go out there, man. You know, and if I do, I'm only staying out there for about a couple of weeks, and I'm getting the hell out of there, bro. I think I might. I'm about to skip on Colombia. I'll just go to Brazil. Brazil's a little bit safer, man. You guys have a good day or good night. Peace out. Take care and bless. I'm out.